I'll just start off with a little introduction here. We have Amanda, who's an occupational therapist at Holland Bloorview, and Brianna, who's a life skills coach at Holland Bloorview. And ladies, I will turn it over to you.
Great, thank you. Hello and welcome. So I'm just going to share my screen. I'm going to start the presentation. I'll talk for about 10 minutes and then I'll pass it over to Brianna for her section. And here we go. Oh, I can't actually share my screen. It's disabled.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me just see here. I'll just make you a co-host and same with you, Brianna, as well. Perfect.
If everyone wants to turn on their videos, feel free. It's going to be a little bit interactive, right, Amanda?
So actually not for this section.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the Q&A section. Sorry, I just have to change my view. There, hopefully you can just see the slides now. Okay, so as mentioned, we're talking about daily living and independence as you move into adulthood. And since this is such a broad topic, we thought we'd take kind of a choose your own adventure approach. So I have several slides prepared, but I'll only present those ones that are most relevant to those of you who are with us today. So to start off, we have a poll, and the poll asks, what's most important to you when you think about transitioning to adult services? And I can start. Oh, there, I think you should see it now. I think I made it so that you can only choose one answer. Hopefully this works out with the number of people that we have, but please select what's most important to you as you think about transitioning to adulthood, and then I will pick those slides to present on today. Got some votes coming in. I'm not sure how many people we have with us right now. Looks like 7 people have voted. I'm going to end the poll unless anybody still needs to vote. Okay, I'm going to end it. So the results are overwhelmingly independent living was chosen and work and continuing education. Okay, so I definitely have more time than to cover just that topic. So maybe if you can vote again for your second choice, that would be helpful for me. Okay, good. We're getting a little more variation now, so that will make my job a little easier. Great. Okay. I think we've got 5, 6, 7. We have all of our votes in. So I'm going to end and share the results. So the next most popular was work and continuing education, and then followed by friendships and relationships and accessing essential equipment. Work and continuing education, I actually was going to refer you guys to the resources from the previous session in breakout room 3. So I don't have a formal prepared slide for that, but I would encourage you to look at the resources from that session. So I'm going to start with independent living. And the first thing I wanted to emphasize is that independence is subjective. So living independently will look different to different people. It will be shaped by your personal goals, your beliefs, your culture, your family, all those kinds of things. So we're not all striving towards one type of independent living. And I think that's important for us to recognize in this discussion. And so I would encourage you, as you think about transitioning into adulthood, to think about, what does independence mean to you? What are your goals? And, are you thinking about living more independently while living with your family? So things like directing your own care or going to your own appointments, or living with roommates or a partner, or perhaps living on your own with community supports. Other things to consider as you think about what independent living looks like to you is transportation planning and training. You might want to practice transportation, look at what accessible transportation is available to you in your community, and learning to work with a personal support worker. For those of you who are in our session yesterday, Khalid did a really good job of talking about some of the ways that he's done that, and I'm sure that he can chat more about that on our panel discussion after our presentation. And planning ahead is really important. This means thinking about planning for not only where you're going to live and how you're going to get to your appointments, but also planning. So those are the big pieces of planning, but then also planning day to day for things like energy conservation and things like that. And lastly, I wanted to identify that independent living and building your independence is a journey. So take it step by step and practice. Start small and build bigger so that you can achieve the goals that you have in a feasible and less stressful way. So that's independent living. I'm going to move on to accessing essential equipment, which, if you bear with me for a second, is on slide 6. Oops, here we go. Okay, so things that are going to look different for you as you transition to adult services from pediatric care is accessing essential equipment. So essential equipment is things like hospital beds, mechanical lifts, your seating, ADL equipment, so things like a commode or a bath chair. And as an adult, you will take more ownership of the process of accessing equipment. So it will be your job to maintain your equipment and identify when it needs to be replaced, whether that's for repair due to repair needs or it's no longer meeting your functional needs. So just keeping kind of tabs on the equipment that you have. Is it in good working order? And then is it working for you? And this will change over time as your needs and your life changes. So that's the first step. Identify when things need to be replaced or repaired. And then know where to reach out. So oftentimes just for simple repairs, you're going to contact your vendor directly. But if you actually need to change out or access a new piece of equipment, you're going to want to know, you're going to want to rather reach out to a therapist who will work alongside a vendor. And where you access therapy services is going to look a little different based on where you live. So in Ontario, you would contact Home and Community Care, which was previously called the local health integration networks, and ask for a referral for occupational therapy if it's for toileting or bathing equipment or hospital bed. And then you would go through the process of accessing therapy services that way. You can also access therapy services privately if you have insurance or if you're willing to pay out of pocket. What's really important when you meet with your therapist and your vendor is to know that you have choice and you are a partner collaborating with them in the process of choosing your equipment. So if you want to see other options, if you've seen something online that you think is cool that might work for you, bring it up to your therapist and they're going to be more than willing to talk to you about that and make sure that you, and by seeing all the options available, you're more likely to find something that's going to work best for you and your life, because we know that you're the expert on yourself and on your life and your activities. So we really value your input and your questions in this process. It's also really important that you consider your physical needs and environment for the next roughly 5 years. None of us has a crystal ball, so we don't know for sure what you're going to need, but having a sense of, the support available, for example, in a commode, can it be increased over time, or is it, pretty minimal? Is it maybe only going to last you for a year? This is important because often funders will only fund certain pieces of equipment at certain intervals. So you might be restricted from accessing funding if you need to change out a piece of equipment a lot sooner than expected. Although if it is truly required, a therapist will advocate for you on your behalf, but we are limited by what's available through the funders. And in terms of seating, so wheelchairs and the modular or custom seating that exists inside of the wheelchair, that's usually done through a specialized seating clinic. So you would want to make sure that you have the contact information for the seating clinics in your area. I know in our program, as you're moving toward age 18, we start to hand out a leaflet that includes the contact information for seating clinics in the Greater Toronto area so that people know where to go, where to call, so that they can get their seating replaced. And it's important to explore local funding sources and disability support services, extended private insurance benefits, and Muscular Dystrophy Canada to get as much coverage as possible for your equipment, because we know it is expensive. And your therapist can support with funding applications. And sorry, just looping back to my first point about accessing local therapy services, often you will need a referral from your physician to get those therapy services. So you may be able to call, say, the home and community care to learn more about the service available, but you won't actually be able to access a service without a physician's referral. Okay. And lastly, I was going to talk about friendship and relationships. A highlight here is that as you move out of high school, you will no longer have those built-in structured opportunities for meeting up with friends and meeting new people. So it is a little bit more challenging in adulthood, and it might take a bit more effort. So be prepared for that. One of the ways that you can prepare for that is, as you're in high school, start to make your own plans with friends if you're not already. Start to communicate with people outside of the classroom and outside of school events so that you have that practice of that skill already. And a way that you can stay connected to people past high school as well is if you're involved in recreational activities in high school that can extend out into past high school. So looking at, for example, if you enjoy drama and film in school, maybe there is a film or drama club at school. Is there anything similar in your community, like an improv class that you could join to meet people and stay connected? Things like that. And then if meeting people or maintaining relationships is challenging for you, ask for help. You can ask your healthcare team. We have social workers, OTs, life skills coaches. We can all help you with these skills. And then the last note here is about dating and sexual health. So we know that many of the individuals that we work with are exempt from or choose not to participate in gym class. And when they do so, they miss out on the physical health component of that class. So if possible, it's a good idea to advocate for getting physical health education in high school, if you can, whether it's through an alternate way from the typical gym class, or if you can reach out to your health team as well. So your OTs are great for talking about things like energy conservation, positioning, and adaptive tools. And then our social workers can also help you in terms of making meaningful connections. And in general, if you have questions about sex or your body, you can talk with your physician and your therapy team. And I realize that I've really blown through these three things, which are really expansive topics that I could probably talk about each on their own, but I'm mindful of taking Brianna's time. So I'm gonna stop there and let Brianna start her section.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Amanda. So for my section, if you guys want to come off mute and take your cameras off or put your cameras on, feel free. Let me just pull up. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. Hi, Eric. Hi, Jonathan. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about independence and life skills. Amanda already touched on this quite a bit, and I'm also going to talk about adaptive recreation equipment. Just to get you all thinking about like your transition to adulthood, what skills you might need to have, what you specifically might need to work on, and how you can stay engaged. Like, do you remember Amanda talked about friendships and how like maybe joining a sports team or some other type of rec team would help you make friends. Okay. All right. So to start off with, what do you think are some important life skills to have in our day-to-day life? What do you guys think? No wrong answers. Shout them out. Or you can put them in the chat and Amanda and I will read them.
Preparing meals was put in the chat.
Yeah, that's a great one. We all need to eat, right? What's another one? Oh, thanks, Penny. Yeah, booking your own appointments. Do you know what that means? Like booking your own appointments? Do you know what it would be for? So maybe booking your own doctor's appointment, dentist appointments, maybe even Amanda talked about this, but like booking in time for your friends, like scheduling times to hang out because you're not going to be in high school anymore. Like that can be difficult to manage everyone's schedule. Eric put something in the chat. Yeah, daily chores, doing laundry, doing dishes. Does anyone here do their own laundry? No, Eric? Jonathan, what about you?
No, I don't do my own laundry.
No, okay, yeah. So that's like would be really important to learn how to do, right? We all want nice, clean clothes. Okay. And then, Penny had a really good one. Knowing about your own health care, your medications. So when you go to the doctors and stuff. Does anyone, when you go to your doctor's appointments now, does anyone talk to the doctor themselves or to other healthcare workers? Or do you usually like, yeah, Eric does? Jonathan, you do too? Awesome. That's a great start. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Other participants, I'd encourage you to come off camera too. Eric and Jonathan and I are just hanging out. All right. Those are great ones. So
that was paying bills like phone and internet.
Yeah. Does anyone pay for their own phone right now?
I do.
Yeah, you
I
do,
pay my own
Jonathan?
phone, some cell bill. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, phone bills can be really expensive and sometimes you forget to pay them, then they turn off and then you can't contact anybody.
Yeah.
How do you remind yourself to pay your phone bill, Jonathan?
Well, mine's pretty easy. My phone company, they text me when I'm supposed to pay them. So
nice. Yeah.
pretty hard
Reminders.
to, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So some things like we already mentioned lots of this, but like meal prepping and cooking, having a budget, so managing your money, getting involved in community recreations, like friendship and social skills, maybe like if you have a disagreement with a friend, knowing how to handle that, taking public transit. Does anyone here take public transit on their own or maybe with a family member or friend? Yeah, Eric, to do? Yeah, and Jonathan? Awesome. Hi, Khalid. Thanks for coming on camera. How are you? Good? Okay, awesome.
I am still muted, sorry.
No, that's
Zoom,
okay.
Zoom is the bane of my existence. I apologize.
I think it's all of ours. That's so funny. Okay, awesome. Does anyone do anything at home to like help out family right now?
I say one of the things that you'll find to the younger guys as you get older, chores become more and more necessary. So,
Yeah.
If you don't get the laundry done, it's not going to do itself. If you don't get the room tidied up, it's probably going to be not good for your BiPAP when you get, you're breathing in dust, right? Yeah. So, you gotta stay on top of the stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Thanks. Okay. So next, we're going to move on to recreation participation. So I have some answers up here, but why do you guys think participating in activities like fun hobbies or sports or any clubs, why do you think that's important? What's the benefit? Maybe you can oh, go ahead. Sorry, Jonathan, go ahead.
I kind of feel like I'm kind of cheating just looking at the screen.
It's okay. No worries.
It's well, I just it just you don't want to have a stressful life.
Yeah.
It's because well, when you get a lot of stress, it affects your health, and you don't want that. So you want to do fun things in life, so you don't get so stressful.
Yeah. It can be like a really good way to relieve stress. Do you find that your activities that you do help relieve stress, Jonathan? Like in your day-to-day life?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
What's something that you do for fun that you think is relaxing?
I guess like go watch some new movie that came out. It's always
Yeah.
fun.
Ooh, fun. Who else likes watching movies here?
I do.
Eric does? Yeah, I love watching movies. too.
Yeah, I've been going out to the movie theater with my friends a lot more, which has been really nice.
Oh, that's awesome, Eric. Amazing. What's the most
I-
recent movie you've seen, Eric?
Oh, that's it. What did I see? I saw that new Dune movie.
Oh,
Something-
nice.
And I'm going to be going to
Nice.
see Eternals with my friends next weekend. So
Oh,
great for that.
awesome, Eric. Amazing. So cool. Jonathan or Khalid, are you guys going to watch Eternals? I know that's like a big one right now.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, so good.
Not
Okay.
not sure how I feel about Marvel anymore, but yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Oh no, shots
Okay.
fired.
I
Okay.
can tell by the audience, a lot of the guys are Marvel fans, so they might just throw me out of this group. So we'll see.
Can we agree to disagree, everyone? Keep it friendly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we can think about like recreation participation can also increase our self-esteem. It can give us a little bit of meaning, something to look forward to every day. You can make friends, like Amanda talked about this. It's a really good way to make friends because if you are doing something you like and someone else is doing it too, you have something in common. You're going to make quick friends. And then moving on. So what are some activities that you participated in that you've liked, or maybe you didn't like? You can share both sides. So even something simple like going to the movies, like Eric said.
I guess like playing games with each other or something.
Yeah. Do you play video games?
Going out to some restaurant or something.
Yeah. Trying new foods. Yeah, there's lots of stuff. Now that stuff is like opening up. Anything else you do, Jonathan?
I guess kind of go with my parents and some family friends and we go out. Well, I live in Calgary, so we're pretty close to the mountains. So
Nice.
just go out there for a day or something.
That's so fun. Okay. Do you like
Eric?
outdoor? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Jonathan. I mean, have you've been to the Calgary Stampede? Tell us about that. I don't know if you've you ever ventured that way.
Can you say that again? The audio is kind of bad.
Yeah, sorry. Have you been to the Calgary Stampede at all? Is that a thing you ever done in the past? Coming from Calgary?
Calgary Stampede?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been there a couple times. It's
Okay.
honestly, it doesn't really change that much, so it's not very interesting for me to go anymore. But
Fair enough.
if you're like visiting Calgary, you definitely should check it out. Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully they have something next year,
Oh, true.
depending on how things go,
Yeah.
Good to know.
Has anyone else here been to the Calgary Stampede? Anyone? No.
Nobody's been out west.
Yeah, I went there when I was younger.
Yeah. Awesome.
The camera's off.
Eric, have you been? Did you-
Yep.
Yeah, you said you did. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's quite the time. Khalid, you'll have to go. Plan a trip.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out.
Save up some money. Okay, awesome. So next, I'm just going to talk a bit about adapted recreation, adapted sports, adapted like equipment that you guys might be interested in. This is just nothing like too specific, but just to get you thinking about maybe something you would like to do or participate in. So there's adapted bikes that are really fun. There's a few different models. They have hand propelling ones. They have electric ones. It's really fun. I know the hospital that I work at has a loan equipment, so maybe something near you has something similar. Sailing programs, wheelchair basketball. Has anyone ever done wheelchair basketball before? Or heard of it, or wanted to try it? No?
The wheelchair basketball here can be very rough, actually.
Oh, it can be. Oh, Angela, have you participated in it before?
I've seen some games, and yeah, it's so rough.
People get
Especially
competitive.
People
get very competitive.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And they bang into each other and stuff like that. And
okay.
wheelchair hockey sometimes is better, especially with power mobility. But basketball is very rough. And then in Calgary, actually, there is adaptive sailing program. So actually, mind you, our I guess good temperature for sailing is not a long time, so because it's pretty cold. But in the summertime, that's actually a good sport or sport activity to participate in.
Awesome. Another one is sitting volleyball. And then Angela already mentioned this, but vault hockey. So like wheelchair hockey. It's quite fun. It's very popular. It's really quite fun. Angela, have you done vault hockey before or wheelchair hockey?
It's still, I still just observe them. And I actually have not seen the ones that you have in the picture. The one that I looked at, the Calgary actually has a power hockey league. And and there's quite a few of our Duchenne boys actually or young men participated in them, and they've actually won a few, I guess, championship and stuff. So they're actually very happy with that. But not the sledge one. I know. There must be sledge one, but that's probably more for the paras than the Duchenne population.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Angela. Maybe you should be leading this. They're so informative.
No.
Sorry, if I could just also add, Brianna, that I think what often happens, and when we're talking, or I actually didn't get a chance to talk about this on my slides, but one of the things that you can do is kind of modify your recreational activity over time to create continuity across the lifespan. So you might do something like vault hockey to start, and then move to something like wheelchair hockey, which is more supportive. It has more supportive seating in it. So if you're starting to have more difficulty holding yourself upright and maintaining your core postural support, then wheelchair hockey, power wheelchair hockey is a good option to keep doing the activity, but in a more supported way.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. All right. Another thing to think about is challenger baseball, swimming. Does anyone here like swimming or participated in any of these programs?
I think I will note that swimming and these activities are just great for your muscles. From what I understand, it's good to maintaining muscle function. I think as much as you can, and as uncomfortable as it can be, you want to try to get out there at least a few times. I know with the pandemic, I know things have sort of put a damper on that, but I think try to take good resources of local resources. I think Bloorview has a great pool, So Active. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that's another resource, right? So get out as much as you can.
For sure. Another really fun activity is therapeutic horseback riding. Does anyone here like animals? Yeah, that's another fun one. And then some other things to think about are maybe like art programs. social programs, community day programs. I know a lot of our clients like dance programs, and music, of course, is always really popular. Has anyone participated in any type of these activities before? Like maybe in your hometown or near you, or maybe even virtually? No? That's okay. Awesome.